There's no telling what evil plans
Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Impossible Creatures Invitational, aka the ICI. I am your host, Taylor, aka Henchwoman, and we are starting it off with a week 1 matchup that has yet to be streamed between Zoe and Esther X33. We are going to be taking a look at this matchup. Their first match is going to be played on Boardwalk, and we have Zoe on the bottom here in pink, as well as Esther X here in the top in gray. So overall, not much strain from the kind of usual start from both sides. Bit of an early expansion to this generator from SRX, considering there was the one right there from his base. Decides to go all the way to the side and move to another one. Be interesting to see how that plays out for him or his favor. Second lightning rod getting put up here by Asterix, as he seems to be prioritizing his lightning generation a little bit higher than Zoe here. But Zoe has moved to the Island Expo on the left side of the map. I'm going to see if she can take control over that there. Overall, this match seems to be going not really anywhere at this time, just due to the general size of vacation or of boardwalk here. It just takes a while for the two players to have their first interaction, unless they are specifically going for it. If they're both playing standard, they're going to find themselves kind of meeting up around after a decent couple expansions with like level 2 and whatnot, unless they decide to go aggressive. But first creature chamber getting dropped down, and we got Zoe pulling out a overpopulation lemming, something with digging. Not entirely certain what that creature is, but we will see how she uses it. It's a rain creature. So I'm thinking porcupine. Not really too much going on over on this side. You got Zoe just kind of getting all of her resources down, getting a swimmer chamber down off on the side here, playing super defensively, not wanting to go too aggressive. Might not be familiar with her opponent and his play style. So see how this one plays out a little bit. Looks like we got some creatures, some cuttlefish, something in there. A couple of those guys, I got camouflage, and I don't believe any of Zoe's creatures have keen sense. But it looks like, yeah, no keen sense just yet, but neither base going. Oh, advanced research coming out of the side of Asterix. Gonna get himself some, hopefully much needed kind of buffers there. Resource buffering from the research clinic. And so we're moving on to this geyser on the right here for the first expansion off on the right. Meanwhile, you got Asterix kind of just chilling up at this top kind of middle expo there. Still building up more of these guys. Moving over to the island.
Ready, boss.
Oh, henchmen meet up here as Zoe's henchman actually runs in
Ready, boss.
to Asterix henchman, who is looking to set up around here.
Ready, boss.
But it looks like Zoe's just going to start building a workshop there, and the henchman's just going to walk away, build a creature chamber as he now notices that he's in Zoe's territory, but he's also noticing she has no defenses here as of yet. But Zoe's bee creature has moved in. Looks like we got the pistol shrimp mixed with the something beetle. It is now targeting the henchman.
Ready, boss.
That's actually fairly interesting. I think it actually is hitting. It's not. It just sounds like it's hitting it for some reason. But yeah, just a really low HP creatures gets instantly wiped here by Asterix. Much stronger level 2s. Kind of a level 2 you're going to want to have in numbers here with there's always B creature. But I mean, maybe their A creature can do a little bit more, but also really low HP creature there. Gonna be a little bit of a struggle to match the pressure from these higher HP creatures, but A is doing a decent amount of holding for the first bit there until you get the horns, gazelle, praying mantis, no, mantis shrimp, gazelle. I'm not gonna try and say what it is, gazantis shrimp. But Zoe's got a sound beam tower and more of her electric eel. Lemming creature. That's what we are looking at there. But her water geyser is getting taken down by these swimming creatures that she just cannot defend against at this time, as I don't think her creatures can go in the water. The level 3 coming out, the snapping turtle cobra here to fend for the geyser. Unfortunately, it has already fallen. Yeah, just generally looking at some fairly kind of aggressive plays here from the side of Asterix. But Zoe's holding off fairly well. She's got the snapping turtle cobras. Not sure if she'd missed this assault on her genetic amplifier there, but she is moving into her geyser section. And these some camouflage poison. Oh, so that is the cuttlefish bull. Poison. These guys are going to be coming in with a decent amount of damage, camouflage, and everything. Overall, pretty solid creature for the raid there. Oh, we also got the narwhal cheetah, I believe, coming in with a decent amount of damage, but being fended off by the Pachysaurus. Oh, a group of Pachysauruses getting together. They do have Barrier Destroy and Herding Charge Attack as well, but are any of them going to see these creatures? I don't think any of Zoe's creatures have yet to have Keen Sense, but they are going to just kind of expose themselves by just attacking there. Oh, but more coming in, more camouflage. A lot of camouflage creatures coming from Esterex. Be interesting to see if that's just this matchup or if he is doing that on the regular. This is the first game, correct? Zoe holding herself pretty well. Able to fend off her kind of assault of Asterix on the right there, but has dropped the entire Island Expo on this left while we were watching that skirmish. And it looks like just overall strong creatures here on the side of Asterix, able to wipe out the forces of Zoe. But Zoe is now on the assault. She's conceded that left expo and has decided to make a full frontal assault on the right. See how this plays out for her. But yeah, overall, not too surprised to see her kind of building up her forces. These do seem to be more meat shieldy kind of creatures, so it might be her playstyle where she just tries to have creatures that survive a lot of fights and just build up armies of them and just build them up and just keep replenishing them with more and more. But looks like they're having a little bit of a difficulty with Asterix here, but actually I've proven mistaken as they instantly just wipe them out. But yeah, looks like a little bit of a. Oh, I almost want to say it seems like it's almost a micro diff, but she's actually doing it quite well. Because as this was the first week's game, we do know the result, unfortunately. And we do know Asterix comes out on top here, but I'm watching how this is playing out. I'm just not quite seeing how Zoe, I guess, threw it all away. Yeah, I think it's just, I think it's kind of just that. I think she might be, might just be down to poor microing. Asterix building up some more creatures. We got the level 4. We got the Narwug Skink. A skink narwhal, I believe. Not being spotted too early, but oh, we do see some more level 4s. The Cuddy Tops. Honestly, well named. The Stegosaurus. Triceratops, I think. I can respect that. I can respect that. Oh, the henchmen are moving in. It looks like she also just hasn't expanded much and taken over kind of the areas at all. She's also just kind of moving the creatures in, doing the fight, then moving out. Oh, but it looks like they are battling it out for this generator here, but her creatures are all targeting the generator. She has not recognized that they're being assaulted. I think if they were to all focus them earlier, I think they might have been able to take out this force. Oh, but now we got more coming in, and they are going straight onto the Cuddle Tops, backed up by the Narwhal Skinks. But we do have quite a bit of them already at this point, so they are getting kind of taken down slowly but surely. But no front line on the side of Zoe. Oh, she's got these flyers coming in, level 2 flyers. But they do a lot of damage. Oh, they do have artillery, but they are getting just instantly wiped by these blue tongue skinks. Gonna be rough for her there. But overall, not too crazy. But she does lose out on that push from being forced into the defensive position, which I guess would be the beginning of the end here by the looks of it. As now we have more forces being built up by Esterox. And they are moving in here, targeting the attack chamber or the creature chamber now, and doesn't seem to have any kind of sign of slowing down too much. These level 2 flyers are doing a decent amount of work, but they are just getting taken out before being able to get a reasonable amount of damage by these level 4 range to just kind of blow through most of their health bar. The blue tongue skinks moving in here. We got more mammoths coming in with more, just more. Oh wait, no, what is that? Cuddletop? Triceratop cuttlefish? Yeah. Overall, kind of, yeah, we can see how this one's kind of going here. Zoe has been kind of depleted of any resources that she can have. No henchmen on there, just the lab and and the generator and the 4 lightning rods, but there's not really much coming back from this. You got the swimmer chamber here. Nothing else really going on for you that is going to give you much of a way back in on this. Might just be a quick little kind of loud destruction, but we got some level 5 flyers coming in. The Narwhal Pteranodon? No. Maybe? I don't know. But they are coming in. They got 35 hit damage. 780. Lots of research is getting put down on the side of Esterex as he secures his lead. We are now moving on to game 2. We are hopping into game 2. The map selected has been
We need
Deep
to take out
Freeze.
all enemy labs. Let's get to it.
Well, it looks like we have Asterix just at this top left here, and then Zoe right underneath him. Interesting map selection. Zoe has sent her henchman directly up to find out where Asterix was. Not a bad move in terms of scouting. Send another one down here, probably to see if she can expand or where she can expand to. Because if she does this right, she can easily kind of block him into this top left corner of the map, while she will gain access to this whole bottom right portion, which is a fairly interesting strategy. We'll see if that's how it plays out. But yeah. Moving to the workshop right here where the other lab would be, giving her full access to multiple kind of 5 coal piles. Meanwhile, oh, I have accidentally clicked out. Just 1 second here. And we are back. And it looks like Mr. X moving into just grabbing coal on the side here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. This is kind of how you standardly play it as a 3v3. And Zoe kind of not making much use of her advantage on the map here. She's actually sending her henchmen around the entire map to see what's going on, to grab the generator on the opposite side of mid. Very interesting play here, Zoe. Meanwhile, Asterix kind of just sticking with the standard. Gets his generator, boom, boom, boom. Zoe building her generator now. Starting out that coal pile. Overall, Nothing too complicated. We got Esterex moving to the kind of middle island expo on the top there. Well, interesting to see. Not too much going on here. More lightning rods getting finally built up by Esterex. Yeah. Then Zoe's kind of now taking advantage over the fact that she has most of the resources on this side as her own, but has yet to make any push into anything. Kind of just sticking with kind of how it goes for her. Doing their kind of stuff there, you know. Got swimmer chamber getting built up here by Esterox. So I don't know if Esterox actually knows where Zoe is yet. Yeah, I don't believe he's actually seen anything besides the fact that she is beneath him. At least from where the henchman came. But I don't think they've actually either interacted. We got first creature chamber getting built up. The swimmer chamber is still there on the side of Esterex, but yeah, it's been 4 minutes, 5 minutes almost into this first match, into the second match, and not a single creature has been built yet. Oh, Esterex moving to the top right expo. Giving Zoe still having the slight lead there, but I'm also wondering if either one of them. I'm not sure what they're doing, honestly. Map this big, all this coal piles can keep gathering. Zoe's just starting level 2 research at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. You have 2 generators, 2 expos, 2.5 expos, and you're just starting level 2. That's crazy. I'm just saying. Alright, looks like we got the Gazelle Mantis Shrimp, just like from game 1. Same creature, same army by the looks of it. We got the Cuddle Epic. Zoe's building some more creature chambers. Maybe she's thinking he's going to attack soon. Maybe she wants to start bringing in her level 2s. Esterex has paused his offense, just kind of holding them at a distance there. Then Zoe's still getting her creature chambers up, getting more henchmen brought out to build up her resource gathering. And another generator getting put up here, but still waiting on that first creature. Oh, looks like we have seen an assault on this top side. SRX building his Mantis Shrimp and assaulting Zoe's Expo up here. Nope, do we got a creature? Nope. Nope. We got some creatures over here at this bottom expo here. We got the Digging Overpop A, the Electric Eel. Going a little crazy there. Another expo getting built up by Zoe. Still waiting for a few more creatures, maybe. But it would appear that we're going to get more henchmen. We got 3 swimmer chambers down here as well. Still no creatures from it, but oh, we got more of these overpop eels pulling up. We got more at the lab, and the whole gang is here. And it looks like she's gonna just full turtle send everything into defense at her lab and just kind of see what she can do with having a little bit more. Yeah, these Mantis Shrimp Gazelles are quite nasty. They got 21 damage. Sorry, 21 damage? Now that's busted, buddy. That's not even upgraded. And it's got 70 HP. That thing's disgusting. Oh, we got the whole goon squad moving out. We got the snapping turtles pulling up as well. They're all moving into the middle of the map here. Hopefully gonna try and take out these right expos, retake what once was her kingdom. Holy genetic amplifiers. See, this map is so much bigger than most of the maps, so it's like hard to like see everything without zooming out like ridiculously. Boom. These things are so electric, bro. We got SRX bringing in the narwhals like yet again. These overpops are just getting popped over and over again. Here comes the Kalepic. Able to hold his own. Esterix kind of doing a decent amount of defending here. But I'm not sure how much longer the creatures on the side of Zoe are going to last in this skirmish, because Esterix keeps sending in more guys to back him up, and Zoe's creatures keep falling. But it looks like she is pivoting to a bit of a different kind of setup going on. She's got her Cobra snapping turtles getting built up at the base here. No upgrades on them just yet. But she's taking it slow. It looks, yeah, just as predicted, Zoe's creatures have fallen here. We got Henchman Yoke coming out of the side of Zoe here. We got more henchmen to kind of expand on the right side of the map here by Esterex. Oh, and it looks like we got some level 4s coming in from Zoe. We got Eslamoto, a ostrich, and something with a long neck that does a lot of damage. Kind of just pure numbers advantage going over to the side of Esterex here. I mean, Zoe's creatures are still somewhat getting wiped out, but no backup forces coming from Esterex means she'll probably be able to hold this off fairly well. You got the Crocupine as well to help defend with the Quill Burst on the side of Zoe, and they have managed to wipe out the forces of Esterex here. But he's already moving on to bringing out more creatures, spawning them all over the map. We got lots of camouflage units from Esterex here. Very slightly interesting to see. I don't see too many people opting heavily into camouflage, but gonna just move them straight in instead of building up his army to gonna potentially have a negative effect on how this skirmish goes. But it looks like they are just gonna get kind of swarmed up on and kind of wiped out just from kind of just positioning alone even. But hopes that they are heavily outnumbered. Yeah, Zoe kind of turtling pretty well here, getting into this back corner. Kind of has the whole bottom left of the map, if you were to look at it in terms of quadrants, but Stark's got this whole right side as well as the top left, so it's kind of rough. He is just going to eventually get more resources than him and be able to produce more creatures, so it's kind of... It's on Zoe to take urgency here, but it's going to be hard to tell kind of how it's going to play out with kind of just the interesting focus here, because she knows that he doesn't have much here, but she's going to try and take that out first. And then is slowly building up a second wave of creatures at her lab. While her expo is also getting taken out in the bottom half of the map here. Slowly but surely doing a decent amount of damage onto kind of towards these creature chambers and just kind of moving into the middle here. Decent push by Zoe. There's only one creature chamber at this midpoint, but he's got the ones on top, he's got some on the bottom. They're probably just gonna get pincered once they move into this to take out this workshop. So it's gonna be hard for Zoe, but she is moving in with a bit more creatures. But I do think they are just gonna fall to the pincer attack that's getting laid out here. Here we go. kind of attacked on both fronts. Not quite able to take them out while both sides are getting attacked. It's going to be hard, but looks like they're going to fall into this upper choke. But as neither team are using artillery, it's not going to mean a whole lot. But we do get that up there. Zoe's moving into the mid and kind of expanding that direction. Not sure how who this benefits more, but looks like SRX does push out Zoe from this mid, and Zoe kind of retreats back to her generator here. Decides to save those creatures to fight another day. We got some level 2s getting built up here by SRX at his lab. Interesting to see. But a little assault being pushed up from Zoe here, but not entirely sure if what she was hoping for at this point, because you gotta think he has more creatures than you at his lab. But I mean, I guess he maybe saw this middle assault and decided maybe he has nothing at his lab. Could be possible, but overall, not too crazy. We got more porcupine crocodiles down here. There's nothing going on. Zoe's creatures getting full on assaulted in here. Both sides grabbing level 5 research. And we're only 20 minutes into the game. And let's see how the rest of it plays out, because it doesn't look like this fight is going anywhere quick, just with how these creatures all have such high HP. We got Doo-Doo Pops, the absolute legendary Dodo Mammoth. No, Dodo Triceratops. Dodo Triceratops. 33 damage, bunch of defense, bunch of speed, bunch of sight. Overall, pretty solid creature. Unfortunately for her, though, we do see the flyers being built up on the side of SRX, which are going to be able to take them out quite easily. The Doo-Doo Pops is but we do got quite the army popping in. We got Bronchio Anteater, the giant Anteater, you could even say. We got a few of these guys here on the backside. Lots of attack damage on there's range attacks, and a decent amount of melee as well. But we'll see if they are able to take out these flyers in time for the Doo-Doo Pops to make enough of an impact. But no. Oh, we got more creatures spawned in on the side of Esterox in this right side, while the assault continues on the side of Zoe going up. But these camel creatures are kind of just moving directly in. You know, the chameleon sperm whale and the narwhal rhinoceros kind of moving into Zoe's lab here. But Zoe's still got quite a force kind of going on, but if she's not targeting these creatures, I don't think she's going to be able to survive. They are getting they're getting outnumbered at this point, and Zoe's got to start worrying about this defense, because she's got too many creatures coming in on her base. What do we got going on at her bottom S? Well, she's just sending them one by one. They're just going to get blown to smithereens by all these range guys. You're going to need at least 2 or 3 just to take the brunt of their force. But, I mean, you do have them spawning in from here. They are gaining the herding now, so it's pretty solid. They are wiping them out pretty quick, and you know they're going to bring in some more forces. This is going to be a really rough and kind of struggled defense on the side of Zoe here. But, yeah, we do see it going SRX's way as he managed to reclaim this whole right side of the map, push in, and then kind of basically take the start of the game and turn it on its head into Zoe's lab. Because at the start, Zoe took over this whole right side of the map, everything from this choke onwards, from here over was Zoe's. But then now, anything from this choke to the left, absolute tragedy. But we are going to move on to our next matchup here, which will be my bad, just 1 second here, guys. Sproob versus Esther X. I will be right back. Hello and welcome back, everybody, as we hop into our next match of the day. We got Sproob versus Esterex 33. We got Sproob on top and Esterex 33 on the bottom here. Let's see how this one plays out. We are on Führer. Um, yeah, so pretty much both just doing the standard 3 hench onto that lightning rod start there. Nothing too complicated. Sproob doing everything you kind of expect him to do here in this Rex Chance group. Same with SRX. Pretty much standard stuff. We got SRX sending one henchman to go for an early generator, I believe. Not something you see too often. Especially not before one or two more lightning rods. But we'll see what Sproob does as a response. Looks like he's going down, sending a few lightning rods this way, potentially looking for that water generator, potentially moving into the middle of the map there as well. Yeah, still just, oh, we got a second lightning rod going up by Asterix here. Be interesting to see which one of them push for level 2 first here. We got level 2 already going Sproob's way. He's probably going to have about a 30%, maybe even a 40% lead. Just on getting that through. We got the workbench, the workshop getting put in here on the bottom right expo. Looks like Asterix is taking the water expo, and it looks like a early kind of creature chamber advancement over here on the side of Sproob, which should play out in his favor, considering Asterix has yet to finish level 2 research, only 50% of the way through, but you already got creatures spawned in and moving out on Sproob's side here. Well,
ready, boys.
And it looks like he's actually taking out one of Esteric's generators that he managed to sneak in a little earlier there. Yeah, overall, it's like Sproob is kind of in the hot seat right now in terms of just general pacing of this match. You got Scroobert on the move. Kind of generating some protection for this generator. Scroobert's going a little crazy there. This generator getting built up. I saw something on the mini map there. Here, that
Hello.
Sproob has taken the entire top half of the map from the midpoint up, and is now going to be kind of able to just kind of zone out most of SRX kind of creatures until SRX managed to build out a force to take out all these Scrooberts. We got Totally Dawn Dunier. Oh damn, I kind of want to Dunier now. Coming into the Gazanta Shrimp here. Oh, but it looks like they might actually dodge the entire vision line of Spook's creatures there, but it seems like he was trying to attack on multiple fronts to kind of divide the creatures up, maybe? Divide and conquer strategy almost. It looks like he's moving in on this generator here. And he has some creatures here, and he's building a swimmer chamber to help defend it. Not willing to give that up, but Sproob's creatures are just already, well, they're kind of already at your lab, my guy. You're gonna have to defend this here, as Screwer just kind of takes down some of his creatures there. The herding coming in. Then you got the totally Dudonair doing a decent amount of damage there, grouping up there. We got bramble fences coming down on the side of Sproob to just keep himself safe from any kind of back door rush kind of deal, but I don't think there's much of an advancement being able to be made on the side of Esterex here. Especially when Sproob's just moving to your base with his totally unctuous. Totally Don Dunier? Totally Don Dunier. See, are we going to see another creature from our boy Sproob here before this match is put under wraps? We've got the more henchmen get spawned from Sproob's base. He hasn't moved on to the next level of research just yet. As he's feeling quite confident with his level 2s, as forcing out the lap defense from Esterex. Maybe rough to go off of here, but some of these camo guys coming up from Esterex maybe going to be able to get the jump on some of Sproob's forces here, but I'm not quite holding my breath as of yet. It would appear that Sproob is building some creatures near his base, just keeping himself safe. Still just going to level 2s, starting halfway through his level 3 research almost. But honestly, he doesn't really need them because he's pretty much got well, he's got Esterex realistically like completely on the back foot. Like he cannot do anything. Like he's absolutely cooked. And like now you're talking to his henchmen that are just trying to gather coal. He's trying to spawn more. This coal pile's running down. For some reason, Buddy's building a gyrocopter. Like maybe he's going for that generator up there. That's the thing I think would make sense. He's got these guys going to build that generator. They're just trying to build it, man. Like you're gonna lose most of your income. You gotta defeat the creatures. You can't just build income. You're not gonna kill them with having more electricity, bro. But I mean, he's kind of pushed on the back foot mainly just because Sproob took out most of his resources already. But Sproob's just not kind of pushing for the end, so you can't really blame him for just still trying to win. But I mean, he's held off, but it's mostly on the side of Sproob just not sending in more. But I mean, it is the level 3 advantage because Sproob didn't push for level this, but he does have that whole army of level 2s. So I mean, maybe I'm a little biased. Oh, we got Octavio. And we got Sproobert still running this front line. What else we got? Oh, we got the Blimbo Scallywag coming in as the ranged level 3 from Sproob, making that push. The Blimbo Scallywag. See if Octavio makes the move. Seems a fairly well fortified generator here on this kind of around Esterex lab here. Good use of the sound beam towers. Cannot complain about that. He's got a decent amount of these camo cheetah narwhals. But they are pushing Harvey onto the lab at this point. Sproob's even going. Oh wait, is that actually? It would actually appear that that's Sproob's generator that is being heavily fortified. Sproob is a madman. He's got his own creatures in his base just for defense. He's got the rest of his creatures pushing in. Esterex is forced to build a whole base away from his base. And Sproob says, well, I'll take that too. At least that's how it looks like it's playing out here. Absolute oblivion. Like, oh my god. I think this has been one of the most one-sided matches I've seen all tournament. But like, it's not even going quick, so I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say, but when you got a sound beam tower that's getting built outside your base, you know you messed up. You not seeing a sound beam tower built outside of your base, and thinking, you know what? I think I could come back from this. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think you're realistic for thinking that. I think at this point I'm blowing lead. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, what do we got here? What do we got here? We got Wimby Boo Boo. Wimby Boo Boo. The camel. Tarantula? Oh, what else we got? What else we got? We got Scroober. Okay, that's still Scroober. That's level 2. Wimby Boo Boo. I mean, good sportsman-like, I guess. Playing it out. But, my friend, you have one generator. No henchmen. Oh, oh. It appears he has actually built a 1 or 2 henchmen. And is still trying to expand. You gotta give it to him for a man who hasn't given up as of yet. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you haven't give up when there's, in this instance, essentially a gun held to your head. And there goes Sproob just pulling the trigger right there. Let's hop into game 2.
If we can take
Here
out all
we
enemy labs,
go. We
this
are
island
looking
is
at
ours
our
for the
second
taking.
match here. Once I find them. We got Esterex in gray here in the middle right, and then Sproob in the top right. Kind of interesting. Both these game 2s with Esterex both got played on a 3v3 map for some reason. I just completely zoned out. I am so sorry. Yeah, so we got lightning rounds getting dropped down, kind of on both sides. Both going for the generators there. Yeah.
Ready, boys.
Kind of Sproob potentially just looking to see where Asterix is, as because it's a 6-player map, and I'm not sure if they played on fixed. They could have no idea where the opponent is, so it's actually interesting to see how this gets played out. And it would appear that they're about to have their first vision of each other, as their henchman's kind of crossing near this generator here. I wonder if maybe Sproob will be able to deduce based on this that Asterix is in this kind of one directly beneath him. Which is ironic because he's technically lower, because this is on higher ground. Oh, and Asterix taking that bottom right expo there. And Sprue moving into his bottom left. I would appear that he's checked each one. He's grabbed this one on the left corner. Left top left corner there. And Asterix actually the first one to spot on the middle. That no one's there. And then Sprue taking this bottom left. So we actually have a kind of interesting kind of shape. You got kind of the top two for Sprue, the middle two for Asterix, and then the bottom left for Sprue, and the bottom right for Asterix. So it creates an interesting thing where this one is extremely vulnerable from Sprue, but this one is extremely vulnerable from Asterix if they catch on to it or if they decide to target it. Asterix going for an early swimmer chamber back here. Sprue building a bunch of creature chambers.
Hello.
Sprue actually sending a gyrocopter to take these upper generators. This is something you see usually from stronger level or better level players. They'll be able to kind of manage everything and get to these kind of generators locked behind that gyrocopter kind of research. A lot of people get too focused in on everything else, but being able to multitask is part of this game here. We got creature chamber in the bottom left getting built up by Asterix after spotting Sprue. Sprue building a creature chamber to respond. Gonna be able to get one down, but it is already gonna be getting tackled by the Gazelle Mantis Shrimp. But I don't think he's gonna be able to get it down because I think the Gazelle Mantis Shrimp are targeting the henchmen. And yeah, they were not able to complete the creature chamber. That's going to be the bottom left expo. Dropping on the side of Sprue and going over to Asterix, giving Asterix pretty much complete control of the bottom side of this map. Sprue taking these generators, though, is going to be fairly big. Not much going on in the middle. So I guess, in a sense, mainly a defensive move on the side of Asterix, as you could look at that as his territory if you have it kind of enclosed like that. But yeah, kind of, I guess that's one of the fun portions about this kind of these maps when you play them with just two people is you don't know off the start where the enemy is. So especially because they're bigger, you don't want to spend all your time looking for them. Pan around with the mouse. Looks like we got a bit of a fight on our hands here. We got the Binky Boy moving in on the Gazanta Strip. The Binky Boys are quite powerful though. They do got that Pack Hunter, they got the 13 damage. Overall, quite strong little creatures there. And seem to be taking out the forces of Asterix fairly easily. Yeah, just kind of plummeting through them, and then you got more guys coming in. You got the Grumble Bolt. Got the Grumble Bolt over here. Just moving in, getting a decent amount of damage there. Nice little perforate creature. Fairly strong. Yeah, but these Blinky Boys are just going a little crazy. Might have taken a Blinkerton or two. But the Poisons, level 3 is coming out of Asterix. We'll see how they hold off against Sprue's Blinky Boys, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do much, as... Oh, it looks like they're actually building up a force elsewhere and moving them in for a flank, um, which would only make sense as that is the rest of his map as well. Oh, but looks like the Blinky Boys are now making the full frontal assault.
Hello.
And no creature chambers on the side of Esterix in his lab area, but he does have a decent little force going for himself down near his expos, but leaving the lab entirely exposed. As he does already have level 3 research, he is able to use the lab defense to maintain kind of his lab, hopefully try and build up a force to counteract this assault, but it looks like they are being met already by the remainder of the Blinky Boys, as well as Grumblebolt. The Blinky Boy's going a little crazy, getting
Ready,
enough
boy.
done. Yeah, honestly, not really much you can do on the side of Esterex without building up more of a force to kind of defend your lab. But it's looking like they're all going to be so far away as well. It's going to be hard. But as we look here, you see Esterex building as many henchmen as he can, keeping this lab defense up. It doesn't seem like Sproob is going to start targeting the lightning rods to kind of make this go a little bit quicker, but we're just kind of potentially waiting for the overheat on the side of Esterex as we see Spruce forces going into this expo here. Like there's that's a lot of blinker that's a lot of blinkertons. The Poisson is not going to live. Generator getting taken down. Sprue moving in. We got more of his grumble bolts kind of pulled up here. Let's see. Do we got level 3 here? Still sitting on level 2. I think we're going to be sitting on level 2 the whole way. That is going to be a lab getting blown. And that is Sprue's taking down of Esterix. That is his week 2 match as it was delayed. Or it might have been week 1. No, week 2, I believe. But nonetheless, good match to see. Good victory to see on the side of our boy Sproob. Now let's move on to our next matchup of Sproob versus Seabass. Just 1 second here. Stuff is glitching out. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with a matchup for the ages of Seabass in the bottom left versus Sproob in the bottom right. We got both of them starting off with your standard 3 henchmen start on a map we haven't seen yet this tournament. We are playing on, I believe it's Sunken Valley. Seabass doing his probably more classic strategy of being known for turtling quite well. And then we got our Sproob, who in our last match we've seen likes to play it fast, likes to go a little hard. Interesting enough to see that this right side of the map, I mean the labs are directly next to each other, but all the stuff you want is on this upper half of the map. So it's interesting to see how it kind of plays out between the two of them.
Hello.
Got a bunch of henchmen going in here. We are going to see the henchmen hitting the coal pile first before building the workshop. Fairly standard, or a little bit more of an advanced tactic there. Seabass a little bit kind of behind in terms of expansion. Only now moving to that expo there, but he's the king of turtling, not the king of advancing. We got Scroobert making a return in this match here, both sides having level 2. Means we're going to start seeing a few creatures on both sides. You got Hot Rod making a return as well.
Hello.
Scroobert moving to this top left to see if his enemy Seabass has made any movements up here. Does not appear that they have as of yet. Overall, really good kind of pacing by Sproob here to get a bunch of henchmen down, kind of everything going. He's got his whole hench line at his lab, whole hench line up at his expo. Not quite the same kind of positive look from the side of Seabass. Not quite as many henchmen. Lagging behind just a little bit here. We've got the skipping cheating. See how that guy handles the Scroobert. totally Onatron. Dunier. Dunior? Never gonna know how to say that. Yeah, Sproob's just kind of taking over this whole kind of side of the map here. You got Seabass's creatures now making a move in. Kind of the very standard Porce Bra from Seabass. He has found his formula and he's doing his best to stick with it. Looks like Sproob's creatures did win out there. And Seabass's creatures are kind of ready to defend, but moved in slightly. Junior? Like junior, but junior? Totally Don Junior? Totally Don Junior. Toad Diddly Don Junior. No, Toad Diddly Don Junior. Toad Diddly Don Junior. Toad Diddly Don Junior making a move in there. You got Scroobert backing him up here, but as the fortress of Seabass's defense becomes more and more apparent, Sproob's creatures move onto this very gorgeous map with all this scenic stuff. Cannot complain about it in any sense on there. But it'll be interesting to see how this defense gets played out, because I'm just seeing the pure numbers on the side of Sproob. Like you got Scroobert, the mustache going on. You got Toad Diddly Don Jr. absolutely coming in here and ready, and you got just more creatures getting spawned in here. Still got more Scrooberts coming out, more henchmen coming out. Nothing going on at Seabass's lab here, but looks like Seabass is making a move outwards and is being quickly met by Scroobert and Toad Diddly Don Jr. Where's the beef at? Well, I'm telling you this right now. Not enough meat on the side of Seabass to kind of withhold this assault from Sproob's creatures as they move into the lab. It appears to be quite this pretty one-sided in terms of just the amount of kind of real oppression coming on Sproobert. He just seems to be playing the map much faster, playing everything it seems like for every one action that Seabass has, Sproob has two. That's how this match seems to have been playing out so far. And I don't even know how else to put it. It's just a pretty rough match from Seabass here. But he is turtling as per usual. So we're gonna see if Sproob's assault manages to take down Seabass's defense. Which, by the looks of it, it is. Just look at how many creatures he's got at the lab. Like, there's no real coming back from this. Like, as Seabass, like especially when you have nothing else on the map at this point. Like, this is your expo. That's still just your lab. Yeah, you blew lab there. Honestly, kind of what we expect to see. So let's take on to game 2 on Soothing Oasis.
We need to take out all enemy labs. Let's get to it.
Sproob at this top right, Seabass in this bottom left. It is a more straightforward map. It is a more traditional map that more people play. So let's see how that affects Seabass's strategy going into this. Well, we see Sproob doing the standard stuff, as they both are. We see a early henchman wandering on Seabass's side as he makes the movements towards those middle expos. Oh, my mouse has abandoned me. Most likely just going to go for this inner middle expo. No, it looks like he is moving up to this left expo. Might be grabbing that generator first there. Let's see what he's got going on in his lab. Still just building more henchmen. Maxing out that coal pile. We got the one hench there. Seabass is now... Sproob and Seabass, I believe, now are both on. No, Sproob has his lightning rod. Seabass does not have it yet. He has his henchman here, just kind of chilling. And looks like we got these henchmen getting spawned in, going on those lightning rods, really efficient on that end. Still just the one lightning rod. More henchmen getting built up and moved around. That generator finally going up in the mid by Seabass. But we kind of got 4 lightning rods on the side of Sproob, so despite the fact that you're grabbing the larger middle resource, that you're gonna still be behind in terms of just general resource gathering, because Sproob hasn't slowed down at all. No one's grabbing these side islands as of yet. No one's sending their hench to check it out even. Doesn't surprise me too much. It is a little hard to notice the first few times you play the map. So a lot of people probably just don't think about it after those first couple times. Both sides starting their level 2 there. We got Sproob and Seabass roughly at the same time. We got that expo building up a creature chamber. We got first creature chambers going the way of Sproob. Be interesting to see if he uses the water route. I see a lot of people actually go into the water here and go for that kind of maneuver, where they just kind of play the backside. I personally just always run it down, but I'm also not that good at the game, so it's hard to say. We got Seabass building his creatures now. Interesting to see that because of how like the creatures were put in, and like where they expanded their base, which one of them is getting put, I guess, more in danger right off the start here. Because Seabass has no defensive yet because it took him longer to get set up because it was further away. But it also took Sproob quite a while to get these creatures going, but he's sending them straight here by the looks of it. And it might be hard for Seabass to recover if his creatures are constantly being outnumbered here. But we got the henchmen coming in to hopefully even those odds. And creatures no longer getting pushed all the way in by Sproob. Oh, we got 2 guys holding up just so that they can wait a few seconds here. What do we got here? Anyway, we got PP Roni, pushing in hard. And we got Scroggins. Going into Seabass's skipping cheetah, and now it looks like we got more Scroggins pulling up here. Plagued by Sproob on the beasts. And Sproob do be using Plague. You don't see a lot of people using Plague. You got the Perforate Pack Hunter with these guys. These guys are quite strong creatures. It easily kind of shredding through any kind of defensive setup you got going. And these guys don't even have much defense in the first place, so that's just going to be a lot of damage getting applied directly to the skipping cheating, which I believe are the Wolf Tarantula. But some genetic amplifiers getting built up by Seabass here to kind of hold his creatures together a little bit stronger. Looks like he is prioritizing a range attack upgrade. And we got the henchmen getting spawned in at Seabass's base. Sproob holding this middle expo area, or this middle generator area, quite well. Looks like the wolf tarantulas are holding him off enough for him to not want to send his creatures in just to die and lose them. As Seabass seemingly like got quite a bit of creatures pretty quickly there. We got 2 genetic amplifiers coming from Sproob afterward. We got the single camel going in there. Given the plague. It looks like they're backing off. Meanwhile, you got the rest of his force moving in slightly, but not quite all the way there. They are going to be moving in now, but nothing going on elsewhere on the maps, all focused up right here in this kind of choke point in Expo. The off-ramp, we might be able to call it, kind of from this upper portion. But yeah, so just kind of pure numbers just absolutely taking down Seabass's forces of all these Rogans just pulling up. The Pipironi is also doing a fair bit of damage with the Plague as well. Yeah, just overall fairly solid play from Sproob here. Kind of pushing in here, sending all the henchmen on retreat mode, send them home to retire, give them a good pension plan. Because they would not have lived if they stayed here, I'm telling you that right now. And they're not going to live there. I'm building the generator real quick though. Maybe be able to get that, and then they have to destroy it. Not a bad move, but kind of grasping at straws here. Not much at the base of Seabass means that he is going to be at a bit of a risk here, but he has to get these 2 quick creature chambers down. Looking like he's going to build a few more as he recognizes how outnumbered he is. But before he even gets any out, it looks like he's already going to get matched by Sproob's creatures here. Oh, here we go. They are spawning in. With having 4 creature chambers like that, you do get the pack hunter on spawn, so that is nice, but you are going to drop one instantaneously. And I don't see it going your way here. They are just getting absolutely shredded before anything can even really do much. You got the heavy sniffer, or the beaver sniffer coming in, doing a fair bit of damage. You got some sound beam towers getting spawned in here, making a little smiley face by the looks of it. You got the eye, and then 2 more, another eye, then you got the little smile right there. But it's gonna be unfortunate timing, as the last thing you want to see right after you build up some sound beam towers is even just 2 artillery would probably just piss you off, to be honest, because they're just going to wipe it out. They're even wiping out one of their own creatures forward. They feel bad about it, but they're going to do it anyway, especially when you're talking bombardier beetles. These guys are going to be hitting these things before they're even in range to get hit by them, and that is not something you want to see as someone who's hoping for some defense on the sound beam, and that is going to be Seabass falling to Sproob. Unfortunate way to go, but it's the way she goes in this tournament. Looks like our next match is going to be Logic versus Asterix 33. Let's see how this one plays out after a short break.
There's no telling what evil plans our enemies have
All
afoot.
right, ladies and
but
gentlemen, we
can put a
got
stop
a
to them by taking
match
out their labs.
between Logic and Asterix here. Let's take a look where we got our two players here. We got Asterix, I believe, in his signature gray on this bottom right. And then we got Logic in this top left here. Believe it or not, they're both running that very standard three-hand start. Just forcing the henchmen to get to the maximum capacity at that coal pile. The bottom right, Asterix kind of going for very similar stuff, but he's actually rushing that generator. First, we see that a lot from him. Moving up to that upper right expo, but he's actually sending his henchmen to and from the expo before building the workshop, which I guess isn't too much of a problem, but it's interesting to see nonetheless. Getting that other close workshop done on the side of Asterix. Logic starting his level 2 research here. Similar timing on Asterix's side. Both starting off fairly strong, but neither one kind of taking that early aggression. Both kind of just playing it out a little bit here. We are on Dreamcatcher, one of the larger 1v1 maps. Aesthetically, one of my favorites. Another swimmer chamber being built up early here on Asterix's side, just like previously. Doesn't appear either side has moved on to this middle portion of the map at all yet. Both just kind of securing their bottom quadrants. Looks like Logic has moving his henchmen down. Probably going to grab that generator on his way down to this bottom left expo. Then we got some creature chambers finally getting built up on the side of Asterix here. Just kind of right in front of his base and kind of his whole setup before he expands outward. Can't complain too much about that. Looks like we got some creatures from Logic here. I believe these are his pure wolves. Beast. Just as predicted, we got this, and then moving into this expo now. Let's see what Asterix is cooking. If he's running in those same creatures as before. Yep, the Gazanta Shrimp is there and ready, as well as the Cut Beak. The Gazalta Shrimp is there and ready. Looks like first aggressive assault is going to be made on the side of Logic as he moves into this generator and starts damaging it fairly well. He's moving some creatures in more from his base. Quickly outnumbering the creatures on the side of Asterix. And kind of just very quickly, like, kind of asserting dominance, really. Making his move over, kind of well aware that he has outnumbered him. I believe he's moving straight into his lab area, though. Be interesting to see if that has an effect. See if Logic spots it early. They are separating the forces and have now won the outnumbered fight. While Logic's creatures attack the henchmen. Um, Logic sending in a secondary force to kind of pinch her here. Yeah, moving in now after separating the creatures on this side of Asterix. Logic now taking on a fight on this top side of the map, or in the middle here, right in the Dreamcatcher itself, as Asterix has taken this middle expo, or this generator, and they are now having a bit of a scuffle over it in the middle of the map here. And it looks like the wolf pack has come out and is attacking the creature chamber. More creatures getting sent in from the sides here. Both sides sending in a bit of reinforcements, but just the sheer force that Logic had there means he comes out on top quite easily. And then you got the one creature slowing down the other one there. A little bit unfortunate, but also kind of good. But just the amount of creatures you got on the side of Logic means you have no worries, no matter how many creatures you guys send. Alright, what creature you send, I should say. We're gonna come out on top, because we already have a whole wolf pack here. We ain't scared enough. But, not making the assault on the lab anymore, as Logic moves to this top right expo, or not quite the top right, but the second to top right. Secures that as well, so they've got kind of massive control over kind of the midway point. Has just got to kind of move in and push, but is setting up decently here first. Is actually just fully moving to that top right exo, but the wolf pack is on the move as they gather around these lower expos and seek to find kind of anything that SRX got outside of his lab and take that out first, as it would be a easier target, but also prevents any kind of flanking on his side. Looks like the creatures are moving in. We got the Rams, the Gazelle Mantis Shrimp added again in this fight. Looks like they are not going to be able to withstand the sheer damage from the beast here. As we see some more creatures, the Cant Eater, the Cobra Anteater. Is that what that is? Quite a bit of damage on that guy, but very low HP. So if they were to get targeted, it would be a little rough. But luckily, you got quite the front line on the side of Logic. Alright, well, let's quickly pop over here, pull up our next match. That is just game 1. We're looking at game 2 here on Cenote.
If we can take out all enemy labs, this island is ours.
Looks like
for the
we
taking.
got Asterix in this top left, and we got Logic 12 in the bottom right. Very standard, kind of getting as many henchmen out as you can. That side, similar stuff on this side. A little bit later on the lightning rod from Asterix here, but nothing too crazy. Be interesting to see which one of them actually goes for that earlier level 2 and see how that affects what they want to do here. Remember that early top right generator, you're seeing Asterix at the top end of your screen there. And then we've got Logic still building up more henchmen, sending one over there to start that lightning rod for the build animation right away. Second lightning rod already built up mostly by Asterix here. Going for more henchmen still, see if Logic is doing the same, it would appear. Asterix got that generator, hasn't moved to an expo yet other than that. I think this one is going Sprube's way here. Oh, that's another generator going Esteric's way, which is real interesting to see because he's now got 2 generators, 2 lightning rods, and the generators have not been the ones close to his lab. So he's heavily opting into some lightning generation to hopefully get enough elect. I'm probably going to look for a lot of conversions, so it'll be interesting to see what he starts to do once he gets that workshop up. We got the sim creatures coming in, the beast coming in from Logic pulling up, doing did a good job in the last match. So let's see what he used this match. Just gonna see Asterix using the same build order he's had all night. With the swimmer chamber early for some reason, I think to allow him to build those mantis shrimp gazelles. But oh, we got actually some of the beasts already moving in to the lab area of Asterix here. Quickly just switching to henchmen, as probably is the most effective thing to do right here, because you know you're not realistically going to get enough damage off on the lab to defend, so you might as well target the coal generation. And because it's the one at the lab, it's usually the first one that gets maxed out. But also, can't build anything to defend the lab if they're all dead. Oh, and that is game 2 being, by the looks of it, conceded by SRX via lab blown. And with that, we can now move on to our next match here. Ray and Skitter.
After we take out the enemy labs, this island would make for some nice beachfront property.
And we are back. Or we're supposed to be, but I don't think it is working right now. Oh, here we go. Alright, so we got Gray on the right in his iconic gray, and we got the Skitter in the left in his red. See how this one plays out. Both really solid players in their own way. See which one comes out on top here. So pretty normal stuff right now. Nothing too complicated. Nothing going too crazy. Both just got the one lightning rod, maxing out the henchman here. Be interesting to see how it differs from the last time we saw Gray on Depario here. And looks like he is building up his secondary lightning rod and continuing to build more henchmen here. And the third lightning rod already coming out of Skitter's lab here. See if he goes for an earlier level 2 with that slight advantage. Gray is building that generator over there, getting a workshop built up early here on the side of Skitter. Advanced research before level 2 research from Skitter, actually. Very interesting.
Hello.
You don't see a lot of people do that, mainly because the advanced research is not as essential. So it'll be interesting to see if the advantage for Gray from that is gonna see how that's gonna affect the game. Because Gray is just finishing his level 2 research and still got 20% on Skitter, so he is a little bit behind, but not significantly behind. But the advanced research hasn't even been dropped yet by Gray, so you're wondering what kind of advantage in terms of that research is being generated on Skitter's side, and you're just not seeing it as of yet because you don't see any lightning, you don't see a research clinic, you don't see a gyrocopter yet. Oh, we see a research clinic being built now. Gray has yet to do the advanced research. He's primarily focused on building expansion, which is potentially quite good for him. But what is Skitter going to rush out of this research clinic, I wonder? Because he got the structure down, and it's just a matter of what are you building with it. Henchman Heal is going to be the prioritized research. I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like that's weird. I could be wrong though, but like I feel like that's not normal, is it? Is that something most people do? Zabronteater. I was a zebra anteater. And Charmafish. These things already got regen. Why did you need? What did? I'm so confused. Oh, another one getting built up here. I'm scared. A level 3 research getting built up by Gray here. I don't even think he even has the advanced research built up yet. We got the Velvet Zebras, the classics. Zabronteater. Still doing a decent amount of work there. Nothing coming out of the research clinic. Something came out of that one just then. More henchmen going. Strength and electricity. Okay, so it was probably henchman yoke. Henchman yoke now, so I don't know what that first one was. Maybe it was the sound beam tower one. Oh, ooh, the artillery going hard on the side of Gray here as he just kind of wipes out some of that front line on the side of Skitter. Oh, my game has crashed.
telling what evil plans our enemies have afoot, but we can put a stop to them by taking out their labs.
My bad, I've been muted this whole time, but it looks like we are back here and we got Gray holding down the fort pretty strongly in this middle portion, laid down a bunch of sound beams and a creature chamber, sending in his creatures to get a decent amount of damage here. The Hench Hater are doing a lot of work here, but they are going to be kind of taking themselves out there a little bit, which isn't too big of a deal as they're kind of losing their assault initially already now, as the Wartopus has pulled up and is now doing a decent amount of damage to the front line and back line of Gray. The Wartopus from Gray as well? No. The Komodo Dramatis. Dratamus? Komodo Dratamus. The Wartopus is on the retreat now. Gray is now backing off, regrouping at his middle expo here, as he knows it is fully fortified at this point. He can regroup, get his creatures in good positions. Yeah, take out that Reacher's Clinic, and might as well, it's in your kind of portion of the map, might as well take it out. And then you got Skitter's creatures actually taking out that expo up there, or the generator up there. Oh, looks like we got some new creatures coming from Gray. You got the blue Tungalist. I believe that's actually just the camel chameleon, but looks like the creatures of Skitter here are actually taking out the generators on this top portion. Meanwhile, Gray's creatures actually make the assault and kind of start working towards taking down Skitter's kind of main forces. Meanwhile, looks like most of the Komodo Dratamus are looking at the lab, looking at the expos, looking to just kind of be more annoying rather than effective, because you're not worried about that level of force taking out your whole army or your whole lab, but you are worried about them taking out your henchmen and then taking out like a lightning rod or two, and you gotta start worrying about that. but I mean, overall, good defense by Skitter, as well as the added portion of being annoying up in this top right, makes it so that Gray's creatures have to retreat and kind of respect the amount of damage they can do, because if you aren't paying too much attention, they can get out of hand with that. But all these sound beam towers that are just holding this mid down are just absolutely beaming off Skitter's creatures here. Gray doing a lot of work on the defense, um, which is why, despite the fact that Skitter kind of had the power there, you were never really worried out on Gray's side as his defense just gets stronger and stronger. And harder to penetrate now that he's got this whole sound beam set up. And now that he's kind of blocked off the entrance on the top there, as well as set his creatures up here, it's gonna be fairly hard for Skitter to do anything really productive in terms of defense or offense. Because you either go through the sound beam towers or you go through the choke point. And going through the choke point, you die anyway. Especially with those pure rays, you can't really expect to have enough armor to survive that with how much armor pen they're going to gain. But looks like the hench haters are moving into this middle portion, as potentially Gray has spotted that a lot of Skitter's structures are pretty clumped up, so they can benefit heavily from having some of this artillery going. But he could also just be building them up because the artillery is just generally strong. Is going to be able to take out his resources quickly. Yeah, I mean, good movement by Gray, able to take back his entire side of the map as well as the midpoints, and kind of slowly strangle Skitter into the just straight forfeit here in this first game. Let's see how game two plays out. We are going to be looking at a match on Führer.
After we take out the enemy labs,
Very
this
popular
island will
map
make for
so
some
far
nice
in this
beachfront
tournament. We got
property.
Skitter versus Gray. Both going for a 3-hench start onto the lightning rod. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. But overall, fairly solid work from both sides. Be interesting to see how things are adapted by Skitter, because of like, it was pretty impressive to see how Gray kind of shut him down pretty effortlessly with these sound beam towers throughout the midpoint. And kind of was able to defend easily off of that because he knew that there wasn't going to be more creatures coming into the assault on his lab. But with this being a slightly smaller map, with less resources to fight over, it'll be interesting to see how it differs from this last match. Yeah, Gray building more lightning rods, getting them down quickly, building henchmen, standard stuff, nothing crazy as of yet. Same thing on the side of Skitter. It's always interesting to me to see how they end up getting spaced out. Not sure if they're considering the strategic purposes of it or if they're just putting them down to get them down. Because you can do it, but then also you don't have to be super specific. You can just do that. Gray's grabbing the level 2 a little bit earlier here than I think we've seen in the previous matches. And a little bit earlier than Skitter, actually, getting it done a whole 20% earlier. It means he is going to be able to get creatures out first. He does have this creature chamber already built up at this kind of middle expo. This is going to likely be the contested point of this middle generator. But it looks like the creature's actually going to this top left to potentially look for a flank on the lab of Skitter. But also might just be scouting. What do we have here? It would appear that we have the Lemawful, which I believe is a lemming mixed with, I honestly don't know what else it would be mixed with, but we got a loner A loner digger coming from Skitter, digging keen sense. Actually, fairly interesting to see the loner being used, as recently we have implemented the rule of loner ban, as you can only, as it was a bit sample and making it so that you would have to agree to the loner being allowed into the game. So using the henchman kind of right away, getting kind of targeted, using this kind of more unique lightning setup to kind of hide his henchmen away, get them a sound beam tower built up. And he's now sending in the forces to kind of take him on. I think it might be the praying mantis that it might be with. Might be the praying mantis those lemons are with. Oh, and they are going to take out the loner quite quickly. And it looks like the pivot is instantaneous to the gazelle salamander. Ooh, a little unfortunate there. They are going to get bramble fenced. So they're going to have to take that out before moving in, which will also make them well aware that they are targeting. And looks like it looks like Skitter and Gray are actually battling it out a little bit at this top left expo. Um, as you just don't really expect that level of assault, especially potentially after the loner agreement. Quickly making quick work of the creatures. You got the gazelle salamander, aka the zebra poison frog. You're doing quite a bit of damage. But oh, what do we got here? We got some snaky boys. We got the giant cobra. It looks like it is the Canberra. Pushing in onto this kind of right side expo. Gray is making quick work of it with some good targeting on these Canberras. Um, Taking out a lot of his creatures, but the poison frog zebras are making their way in on the defense, but just kind of backing off to get a bit more of their own creatures into this fight. As they kind of just start doing a decent amount of work onto them. You got the one sound beam tower there as well on Gray's side to defend a bit, but looks like the forces of Skitter are holding off fairly well. They do have the herding there, and as well as the poison touch because of the poison frog. So potentially fairly strong defense from Skitter here. Not quite what I was expecting to see, but it looks like we are going to be seeing Skitter getting these two upper generators as well, while Gray maintains his kind of top left expo there. Lost his bottom right expo, still has that one on the left there, but is quickly getting kind of made to struggle just a little bit here because of the amount of creatures that Skitter be pulling up with. Not much Gray can really hope for as he's getting kind of quickly pushed out, but Skitter is backing off, grabbing some of that leap attack, regrouping a little bit here. Um, the Canberras are doing enough work, and you do have the. Oh, we got Skitter with the aggressive sound beam towers going again. And then I think we got a second sound beam tower being built up by Gray. He's got one at his workshop there. But he's now got another one getting built up, and I believe he's building a few more. But we are seeing some artillery on Skitter's side, which does spell a bit of a dark time for anyone building up a lot of sound beam towers at the moment. But other than that, not a whole lot going too crazy. Just kind of slowly battling it out here for this middle point. Generator, I think, has been swapped over twice already, but overall not too shabby to see. You know, both sides kind of holding their own quite well. Bit of commotion going down, I believe. somewhere, according to the music. But it would appear Skitter's army is actually moving to this bottom right expo to hold that and move in. Actually, we got some new creatures coming in from Gray, the Hench Haters. Oh, not new creatures, but they have increased in numbers. They got their Pack Hunter, they got their Frenzy, and they got their Artillery. And they are throwing rocks all the way at this hench line at this expo. Absolutely shredding them to bits. Making very quick work of them too, just because of the sheer amount of numbers they got. But we do got something else there as well. Let's see what we got here. We got the Spinning Crafter. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but we got the creatures from Skitter about to move in, but decides to back off to play a bit more of the defensive game here. Yeah, meanwhile, we got Gray kind of pushing in fairly hard, getting that work in, putting it down, and just kind of doing everything he can to just take out this middle expo, force Skitter onto the back foot. Yeah, not really much Skitter can do here. He's just got his 2 generators, his lab. He is on the assault, actually, by the looks of it. Might have missed this here. But I think, yeah, those are just his level 2s. They are getting dealt with fairly well. You got Wolf. This is a new creature that I haven't seen just yet. Hurting, Leap Attack, Overpop. Oh, that might be Walt? I don't know. Mr. White. Yeah, it's just kind of quickly tearing them to shreds over here. Gray doing a decent amount of work. Skitter moving to this bottom right expo. Not sure if it's going to work out for him or not. As Gray has moved his Lemming Ostriches into place. Who are now doing a decent amount of damage to this expo. Taking this expo. And leaved Skitter to blow his lab, and then it's going to be the match going this way of Gray. Going quite well here. And for our next match, next match is going to be Kiki versus Sergeant Edgar. Let's see how this one plays out after a short break.
island would make for some nice beachfront property.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with a match between Skitter and Girthquake. We got Kiki and Girthquake. We got Kiki on the right here in orange, and we got Girthquake here on the left in his signature navy blue. See how this one plays out. Overall standard start on this side. The henchman rush into the one lightning rod, and then on the other side we got more of the same, really. Not really too much going on in these earlier portions of the game. Yeah, overall pretty solid standard kind of gameplay. Girthquake getting a second lightning rod down there. Same with Kiki. Kiki getting his third one down even. Yeah, overall fairly normal. Nothing too crazy either side. We got the bramble fence going down. See this very often from Girthquake. You'll get this bramble fence here, mainly because he doesn't want to get kind of taken from the back, really, by the looks of it. Which can you really blame? I don't think so. Got the level 2 research here from Girthquake. And level 2 research a little bit behind on the side of Kiki, but Kiki has moved into kind of getting his workshop a little bit quicker. So Girthquake's a little bit behind on research gathering, but the research side is a little bit ahead. We got Creature Chamber going up just a little bit behind in terms of build. Meanwhile, Kiki's actually a little bit ahead in terms of build, but marginally behind in terms of research. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up playing out. Let's see what we got here. We got Crinkaroo Jones on the move here. You got Charge Attack Hurting. We got the Wonderfulness there. And looks like we got some creatures on the side of Kiki as well. We got the Cameliote, the Chameleon Coyotes. Looks like Girthquake's creatures are going to spot out this generator being built up by Kiki. And I'm going to start targeting them. I'm going to quickly get spotted and taken out by the coyote chameleons here, as they just got the frenzy, they got the damage, and they got the numbers at that point. So easily kind of quickly defended by Kiki. And then you got a Girthquake here, kind of holding his own, bringing his creatures back, not losing his entire assault force there. Oh, but we actually got another new creature from Girthquake here. First one he's bringing it out. We got the diseased pug, the archerfish hyena, accurately named. Aiming, coming just a little bit short. Just the pure speed on the side of the creatures from Kiki here. Got the warthog, spider. I can't remember which spider. But actually, good micro from Kiki. Manages to make Girthquake take a bit of splash damage of his own from his own creatures there. Looks like Kiki actually has the same hyena archerfish. That is actually quite funny that they. I think this is one of the first times we're seeing a kind of almost mirror matchup of creature. But it's also interesting because that means that he's got multiple different level 2 creatures there, which you're seeing more and more in these higher levels, is that they will have multiple level 2s for multiple situations. And that's just, I guess, due to adaptability and the reliance on this early kind of game. If you're managing to get the resources, you will come out on top. So if you have something to counter every kind of strategy, it would make sense. It would appear that Girthquake is kind of holding his own on this defense, but they are just kind of falling back to regain some number advantage. They also got that sound beam tower going up now on Kiki's side, so it's going to be harder for Girthquake to advance into them. Not a whole lot on Girthquake's defense that's telling me he's going to be able to assault anytime soon. I do believe Kiki is coming in with the level 3s here. We got Nut, which looks like it is a hammerhead kangaroo. Going fairly hard there, but is eventually taken down by Girthquake's forces there of Kinkaroo Jones. But it looks like more nuts are just moving in, and Girthquake's own creature is taken down before I could even click on it to get the name. An absolute tragedy. We got another one spawned down there, but he's also already dead. We got Augustus Gloop Glutinous Grippers making the move, able to get killed before making any move. You got Joss Olin, the biggest liar known to man. And it looks like Girthquake has blown lab in this first match here. Nothing too surprising after seeing how that was going. But let's hop right into game 2. I believe we are looking at a match on Sunken Valley yet again here. Just hop into it there.
We need to take out all enemy
We got
labs.
Girthquake on
Let's
this
get
bottom
to it.
right here, going with the standard 3-hench start. And Kiki on the bottom left himself. Be interesting to see how this plays. Last time we saw this map, it was between Seabass and Sproob. And that was quite a almost dragged out match in my opinion. But we'll see if Girthquake manages to pull out a win here and force the game into a 3-game series. As this map is a fairly bit unique. In terms of just the general layout of the map just isn't very symmetrical in many ways, so it's hard to get a good read on what priorities these players are going to have. So we got second lightning rod getting built up first on the side of Girthquake. Gonna wonder what that means in terms of his build order and if he's gonna be prioritizing an earlier level 2 than we normally see out of him. We got Kiki still building enough henchmen, getting his stuff going. He's got his expo going up here actually, and Girthquake is moving his henchmen to look for an expo of their own. No one taking this expo here. Level 2 research on Kiki just starting up here. He's at 20% right now. Girthquake is pretty much done, almost a 50% gap for Girthquake, but he doesn't have a single creature chamber as of yet, so he's not going to be able to do much with that. He is building it now. And Kiki also is now building his creature chamber, so you gotta wonder what's better, because by the time they both got creature chambers up, they both hit level 2 at the same time, so Girthquake doesn't actually make much with the advantage of that earlier level 2, but he does get the creature going on the move. He is Frenzy Pack Hunter and moved in straight onto the Cuttlefish Gazelle and doing quite a bit of damage. You got Lyle the Crocodile? Mountain Lion? Now on the move, they do got the Pack Hunter, so you know they're going to be doing some crazy work on these henchmen. Are using the Frenzy as well to increase the attack damage, but also receiving a little bit more damage on the receiving end. But able to do quite a bit, takes out pretty much most of the henchmen. You are now looking at only one henchman left, but we are going to see Kiki respond with the defense protocol engage. Porcupine. I'm not sure what it is mixed with. Porcupine Lemming, it has to be because of the overpop. And it looks like these mountain lions are on the move, on the retreat here, but they are quite fast and ready to move onto this top expo and hopefully make a maneuver here while Kiki sends the rest of his creatures to defend his lab. Very good macro here, and kind of manipulating the movements of his opponent from Girthquake here. The kind of stuff you love to see in one of these RTS games is moving your attack around to, if it can't hold. Land creatures could cross through, right, choke, into my break, into my base. Frenzy when activated. 1.5 damage dealt. Okay, so it is a still bit more. Thank you for the statistic. Or the ratios, I guess. Papa Delta. But yeah, Girthquake's creatures moving in here, getting a lot of damage off. Kind of stopping most of the defense from Kiki, but ooh, Kiki's creatures both kill most of Girthquake's creatures and themselves. But Girthquake is going to be moving in with Fluffy as well, taking out the henchman here. Meanwhile, bit of an army getting built up on this top side. You got the henchmen brawling it out at this top middle generator. Just haven't looked too much at this side of the map as I've been mainly focused on that assault there, but looks like still a bit of expansion from the side of Kiki up in this top half of the map. Able to kind of hold his own a little bit, but Earthquake's got pretty good fortification on this right side. You cannot deny that. And he is taking this bottom expo, kind of has this whole side of the map completely under his control. Fluffies are growing in number, and they're now on the move to this kind of middle portion where they're about to fight each other. Looks like they are kind of trying to avoid getting fought too much by these sound beam towers, and waiting for the front line of Girthquake's Lyles to pull up, which are doing quite a fair bit of work to just kind of holding off the creatures of Kiki while the porcupines are doing their work onto the soundbeam tower with the herding. They're now taking out the henchmen. You got Lyles going in as well. You're just getting a lot of good use out of your creatures here from Girthquake, and there's not really much you can complain about. You got the Lyle Crocodile, Mountain Lion going a little crazy, taking out the generator, moving up into this middle portion, and kind of looks like Girthquake is actually in the hot seat right now in terms of who's in control of this match. And it's kind of taking out both of the expos of Kiki with ease, realistically. And honestly, yeah, it's gonna drop down that workshop. Gonna start targeting the other workshop. Good division of forces here, able to take out pretty much everything he needs to, as he needs to. But it actually looks like Kiki is on the move to try and do a bit more on the back end. But Lyle is moved in, and that is a blown lab from Kiki, and Girthquake with a victory brings it to game 3. Now we can all join up and look at it through here ourselves. We got game 3 on Oculus. Another fun map here. See how this plays
There's
out.
no
We got
telling
Girth
what
in the
evil
bottom
plans our
right,
enemies have afoot, but we can put a stop to them by taking out
and
their
we
labs.
got Kiki at that top left there. Be interesting to see how these play out. Just very standard starts on both ends. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Now we know Girthquake can beat Kiki, and we saw how he did that in that last game. So it'd be interesting to see if he changes his strategy, if he commits extra on that, with the Lyles, as they were quite oppressive and pretty strong. So if you're able to get out more of those guys before your opponent's able to set up a decent defense, you'll be able to take out quite a bit of their stuff just with the damage output, the Pack Hunter, the Frenzy. You're not complaining. You are not complaining, I'll tell you that right now. But we got a fair amount of lightning rods on both sides, just kind of sticking to the same pace as we have the whole series. Not a whole lot to. Hi, Chihuahua. Yeah, so moving his henchmen over to this right side here, you got Girthquake getting his level 2 just like he did last game. I think it's actually being outmatched by Kiki. Kiki getting it first. We'll see if Kiki manages to get a creature chamber down uh, early to make use of that advantage in terms of timing. But no, he's now building it here. Girthquake is finished his level 2 research himself and is now also building his creature chamber, leading it to have very minimal kind of lead in terms of getting it down. Um, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm gonna be honest, I do not know what I'm looking at. There seems to be a lot of bramble fences that were made here and just kind of left there. We got some streaky bacon making their way in. And they are now on the move out. Oh, but looks like we got the Cant Eaters. Sir Sklebly the Girthless. Sir Skeeble the Girthless. On the defense. Looks like another creature chamber getting built up by Kiki. A little bit closer up here as his forces move into Girthquake's kind of area there. It might have been just to deny that expo. Might have been. I mean, that's kind of interesting. I would never have thought of that. But these archerfish hyenas are doing a decent amount of work, getting some damage down onto the hench lines of Girthquake. But they're not able to do enough damage to take them out, as they do have fairly limited damage output at this point with only 4 of them. And the henchmen are quite tanky, so not quite able to take it out, but decent amount of effort and work put in there. Doing some more of these guys. Pack Hunter got some melees getting built up in the back end there. Wondering if Girth's going to send anyone to deal with this kind of shenanigans. But it looks like we got these guys making the move in. Good targeting, meaning they're not likely going to die to the little bit of damage from Kiki's creatures. And Girth is pushing hard into this kind of top right corner expo with his Sure Skeeblies, the Girthless. Taking out that creature chamber, moving into the henchman, taking out the henchman everything he can. Looks like we got a secondary creature there as well. The Cone Nip Pincher. I believe that's a cheetah praying mantis. They're set up to get enough damage down. We got some research clinics getting built up by Girthquake on the right here. And it would appear that Kiki is on the back foot as of right now, as Girthquake builds up his force and continues to push down this right wing, or this right portion to Expo. But some creatures getting built up. We got some Sonics, some Grizzly Bear Dolphins from the side of Kiki, the Dolphy Bear. He has called them, and the henchmen from Girthquake are now on full retreat from the middle portion, as Nut has made his appearance and has started attacking Girthquake's Middle Expo there, and the Grizzly Bear Dolphin is also pulling up as a guest appearance to take out the remaining henchmen. And Girthquake is kind of just conceding it while making a move in towards the lab, but moving all of his creatures in like such into these sonic creatures isn't going to feel too good for him, but maybe the Cone Pincer is going to be able to get there and kind of prevent the amount of damage from these dolphins that he's going to need to get the back foot. We got the Pincer pulling up, hitting the Kangaroo Hammerfish yet again. And we got a bit more going down on this bot side as Girthquake moves his Cheetah Praying Mantises in to clear the area. Looks like the Girthless is taking down some of these girthy dolphins. And looks like Girthquake is now targeting the lightning rods and the creature chamber, forcing Kiki to build it at his expo there. Meanwhile, there's still nothing going on this side here, and you got the Hammerhead actually going around not targeting anything. Oh, actually, that is Girthquake's Kangaroo Hammerheads. And the Girthless is surrounded the base entirely. And you have another creature from Girth here. You got Josephine pulling up with the Lick Lick. What do we got for the Hammerhead? The Hammeroo. A little bit lame on the name there, Girthington, but that is going to be the win going over to Girthquake. 2-1 for him. First, I believe it might be one of his first wins of the season. Of the tournament. Now we got the premier event. Between Black Tiger 3 and apparently Black Tiger 3. But it's actually Black Tiger 1. So we will be right back after a short break.
We need to take out all enemy labs. Let's get to it.
we got Black Tiger 1 on the left, Black Tiger 3 on the right. Going to be a interesting match to see as we see the brothers battle it out here. We got both going with a very standard hench start. Be interesting to see where they differ, as we know they play very similarly to each other, and as we've seen their games back to back between other opponents. Be wondering who comes out on top here, between Black Tiger 1 and Black Tiger 3. Black Tiger 1 in the yellow and Black Tiger 3 in the green. More henchmen coming out of Black Tiger 1 here. More lightning rods already dropping on both sides. Nothing too crazy per usual. Both going with 2 on the side, 2 in the middle. But slightly different in terms of how they have them placed. Looks like a lot of his henchmen moving to that generator. Both sending about 4, I think. Black Tiger 1 getting level 2 research just now. Black Tiger 3 slightly ahead of him on the research. See if they manage to get the creature chamber up first to capitalize off of that time difference. Overall, pretty normal. Both sides, both bramble fence going from Black Tiger 1, scared of the kind of backdoor assault from Black Tiger 3. Can't blame them overly. Creature chamber getting built up. Actually, first creature chamber going up for Black Tiger 1. It's fairly interesting to track that the person who usually builds level 2 research first is the second one to build the creature chamber. And it looks like both teams are actually going to send creatures slightly out of where they would expect them, and the generator being the target of Black Tiger 1, but Black Tiger 3 catches onto it luckily, and is going to be able to hold this fairly easily, as the creatures from Black Tiger 1 are just going to start pushing in. They do got the speed advantage, but the Porcupine Mountain Lion on this side of Black Tiger 3 does a decent amount of damage to hold them off, but it looks like the Gazelles are sprinting over to these henchmen to try and create some havoc near the lab, and potentially lower the income of Black Tiger 3, as his henchmen seem to be the target of Black Tiger 1 at this time. And there's really not much defending it. They're just kind of getting... well, they're getting torn to shreds, realistically. Like, there's no other way to say it. Black Tiger 1 is on the offensive here, and kind of oppressing Black Tiger 3. Now that he's gotten past this initial kind of push into the lab, he's just got numbers, and the numbers are moving in. We got the level 3s coming in. Or no, the Blue Tongue Gazelle is actually still just a level 2. Just a much large level 2 than usual. The Pork Lion going in with the... just using that to the most of its ability. I can't remember. The Quill Burst, I believe. The Blue Tongue Raptor. Decent little creature there. To back up the Porcupine Mountain Lion. But the Gazelles are moving to this top side. They may have spotted that while he has blocked this top corner, his brother hasn't, so we might look for a flank on that. Depending on kind of what his plans tell him to do, but he is looking like he's moving into that flank up there in the top right. And then in this bottom left, Black Tiger 3, the aggression, pushing in, taking out as much henchmen and as much as he can. And while the Gazelles are already hitting the henchmen of Black Tiger 3, who, due to the good placing of his lightning rods, are unable to target the henchman and the Soundbeam Tower. So without microwing, wouldn't be able to get much done there. And it looks like Black Tiger 3 has easily withheld the push of Black Tiger 1. But it was a bit of a back and forth there. We got the Man of War Bull pulling up from Black Tiger 1. Pretty solid creature overall. A lot of damage, a lot of all those good things that you like to see. And Black Tiger 3 is kind of looking fairly barren on his side of the map here, maybe. But realistically, not doing too much worse than his sibling over here. If anything, doing better because he's actually got a fully staffed coal pile compared to Black Tiger 1. Looks like they are going to start building up this generator right there, try and build some electricity, move the creatures in, try and take out some of these henchmen, hopefully. Just kind of hoping for anything here, just some kind of advantage, just kind of build off of. Meanwhile, you got the level 3s coming in from Black Tiger 1. Kind of moving in, getting coal bursted. So they do get a decent chunk of damage, but because of how tanky those guys are, they're not going to do enough to actually take them out. Second creature chamber getting built up here by this middle bottom expo. That generator is likely going to be falling. I don't know if Black Tiger 1's going to be able to move into it right away, but he's going to be doing his best to push in and apply some pressure to Black Tiger 3. That's kind of what this game has been, really. It's been who can apply pressure more and get away with it without having some kind of thing go wrong on the back end. Because as of right now, we see the pressure that was coming from Black Tiger 1 getting applied to this upper generator, who quickly gets kind of taken out. But now we're going to see on the other end, we're going to see Black Tiger 3 likely push into this middle portion, who's going to get met with a decent sized force on the side of Black Tiger 1. But he's actually, it seems like Black Tiger 3 is moving towards the generator, allowing Black Tiger 1 to build up more of a defensive force to kind of hold off this advance. Some research clinics getting dropped in here. No one's gone for this middle kind of upper expo as of yet. But more of these Bull Man of Wars getting built up. Oh, looks like we have another guy here. BT's classing is a great watch. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. We are looking at the... Just to be safe, I'm not going to say that name. Looks like we got the Hercules Bionis. And the Hercules Beetle Lioness pulling up here. On the side of Black Tiger 3, kind of doing a decent amount of work into the Bull Mana War from Black Tiger 1. And Frenzy coming out of some other creatures on the side of Black Tiger 1 with the Praying Mantis Lioness. Doing a lot of work there realistically, but it is falling a little bit short. Meanwhile, we got the artillery coming in on the side of Black Tiger 1, but unfortunately, just due to how Black Tiger 3 has already moved in and started the kind of physical brawl, the range attacks aren't going to be doing you as much benefit as they would have in a range versus range matchup here. But you are getting some sound beam towers on the side of Black Tiger 3 on the aggro, kind of build up your kind of aggressiveness. Meanwhile, the Mana War Bulls are just kind of moving in, getting an amount of damage out. The Hercules Beetle, I mean, this is just such a back and forth fight. I can never really tell who's winning. Usually they go back and forth. Usually they just go one way and then the next play, but this one's just straight up back and forth overall. Can never tell who's going to come out on top here. We got Black Tiger 3 making the move now, but you got Black Tiger 1 moving in onto this middle portion, moving down, getting the flank. And then on this bottom left here, you got Black Tiger 3 pushing in, getting his pack hunter off, getting his range creatures in here, getting a lot of damage, forcing Black Tiger 1 to back off and defend. And then you got Black Tiger 1 just absolutely attacking his creatures, but you got one creature on the back end. You're getting a number advantage coming in from Black Tiger 3. Might be the deciding factor here, but we've seen bigger number advantages so far this game, but with the Pack Hunter, you gotta wonder if it's gonna be enough. Meanwhile, he's moving to the creature chambers here, so he's not gonna have much to defend off of, but we are looking like Black Tiger 3 is actually on his way to Black Tiger 1's lab to target the main source of income here, while the rest of his forces kind of continue to take on all of this middle portion and the left. And that is going to be the match going over to the side of Black Tiger 3 via the lab blow. Not what we expect to see in kind of an explosive later half of this match. But let's hop into this next match here. We are looking at game
We
2
need to take out
between
all
Black
enemy
Tiger
labs.
1
Let's
and Black
get to
Tiger
it.
3. Black Tiger 1 at this top left in the yellow, and Black Tiger 3 in this bottom left in Black Tiger 3. Realistically, we're looking at a fairly standard start from both sides here, but this map is quite long, so it'll be interesting to see who makes the first aggressive move and what type of aggressive move it is. 'Cause the last time I believe we saw one of the Black Tigers on this map, they did go a little crazy with some termites for some infestation on level 2. So it'll be interesting if they go for a similar strategy or if they're going to come at it differently, since it is their brother there. Yeah, can we get a wondering to see how they're going to play it out. They're both kind of spamming henchmen just like they did in the last game. Some early lightning rods from Black Tiger 3. Some more lightning rods from Black Tiger 1 as well. Realistically, like they're doing the same thing they did in the last 2 games. It's mainly going to come down to who makes that first move and how solid of a move is it. Because as we saw in that last game, it's not so much who's making the first move, I guess, but it's about the size of it as well. Because the pack hunter numbers started doing too much work onto the side of Black Tiger 3 in that last game. So it made it pretty hard for Black Tiger 1 to kind of defend against that. But Black Tiger 1 is going to get level 2 research first. Still no creature chamber, so has not affected the the outcome of the match at all, as they both now have level 2 research. And it's actually Black Tiger 3 who has the first creatures, despite the fact that he got level 2 research second. Generator being picked up from both sides, actually just from Black Tiger 3 on the bottom side here. But that middle generator getting picked up earlier by Black Tiger 1. Black Tiger 1 moving to this middle left expo. Meanwhile, mainly just fortifying your kind of first expo there on the side of Black Tiger 3. But Black Tiger 1 is feeling more than fortified already. Moving into this middle portion of the map, hoping to set Black Tiger 3 on the back foot early, but will be interesting to see. We got some of these gazelles moving on the backside, dodging the expo. You gotta know they're gonna be there, and they're actually targeting the henchmen at Black Tiger 3's lab first. As this is such a long map, the fact that they're going for those means that they're probably gonna at least get a few, because Black Tiger 3's creatures are gonna take quite their time to get back there, and if you have creatures interacting with them already, it's going to make it even harder. And it looks like the entire hench line is actually gone, despite the fact that there was only 3 creatures, just due to the fact that they had to get back through all of the creatures on the side of Black Tiger 1. I mean, on the side of Black Tiger 3, or Black Tiger 1's creatures were fighting Black Tiger 3's creatures, so they couldn't defend. And it looks like Black Tiger 3 is building a few henchmen here. He's finally got his defense. His creatures are back. But it looks like Black Tiger 1 just doesn't really care and is sending more creatures in as he speaks. And is just easily taking down the entire main core of Black Tiger 3's base. Just quickly taking it out, tearing him to shreds realistically, and is now clearing more of his creatures. But Black Tiger 3 sending some of his creatures back here to defend. Sending, not quite doing much work, but doing something. Um, and it would appear Black Tiger 1 is still in the kind of hot seat here on the aggression. And is now taking out the henchmen. So looks like just Black Tiger 1 has managed to easily bring this to game 3 in a very quick match as we move into our last match of the night. We are moving on to a match between Black Tiger 1 and 3. Match point Oculus. It'll be interesting to see how this one
We need
plays
to
out.
take
We
out all
got
enemy labs. Let's get to it.
Black Tiger 1 with a typical 3 start, 3 start on Black Tiger 3, Black Tiger 3 on the right, Black Tiger 1 on the left. Going with the good old Oasis. See how she goes. But yeah, overall, some very even matches going on. And this match could realistically go either way. And I expect it to be a banger, honestly. Whether it's a stomp, a long match, a short match, or a medium length match, I know it's going to be a banger. When you got Black Tiger 1 versus Black Tiger 3, you know those guys are here to play. And you know they're competitive, and you know they're two of the best players in the scene. So you know they come up to play when they're against each other. A little bit earlier on the Lightning Rod, you got Black Tiger 1, probably going for that early lead like he had in that last match. And moving into the mid expo a little bit early is Black Tiger 3 with that level 2 research a little bit quicker than Black Tiger 1. Does go straight into the workshop, so we are going to see another person building level 2 research first, who potentially gets creatures second. But we are seeing a swimmer chamber getting put in by Black Tiger 1, or Black Tiger 3. They both have completed level 2 research. Black Tiger 2 has defeated the curse and is sending his boys on a full frontal assault. We got the Mantis Shrimperite. I don't know what that's mixed with, but it's pronounced. Oh, we also got a level 1 Camouflage Solar Pulse. Collared Shark. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, because I couldn't tell you what's going on right now. Scorpion Lions are moving in.
Hello.
Henchmen moving in here. Got these guys moving in. You got this guy with the artillery, level 2 artillery coming in. You got the sonar parts guy. You got these dudes. These dudes are moving in. We got infestation going on. We got an infestation going on. We got these two guys sitting here back here going that infestation. The sonar plus hammerhead caterpillars is a classic strat. We got the Archer Fist Gazelles moving in here. They taking out the lightning rods. They got that down. Meanwhile, you got these guys going in. You got the hammerhead, fucking cuttlefish or caterpillar. Apparently, it's a classic. Must be a hood classic because I've never heard of it. You got the lobster raptor going in, 15 damage with the pack hunter, with the frenzy, with the barrier destroy. Going to be moving straight in on Black Tiger 1's base. Kind of taking it out pretty harshly, honestly. Like you got to think that Black Tiger 1 is contemplating a blow here, but looks like Black Tiger 3 was also on the back foot. But he is recovering quite easily. And looks like we are sending the Archer Fish Gazelles to try and defend the lab. But it might be a little bit too late as these henchmen are going to try and heal it. But we're already getting more of these barrier destroy pack hunter units pulled up, and they're targeting the henchmen before even targeting the labs, securing the victory essentially. Looks like this one is gonna go the way of Black Tiger 3, if I were to guess. Just based on the current state of the situation, realistically, but it looks like Black Tiger 1 is also using a Barrier Destroy unit at the lab of Black Tiger 3. But I don't think he beats him in the base race here, so I'm gonna guess that that is going to be Black Tiger 1 dropping the game to Black Tiger 3. Black Tiger 3 coming out on top. Um, what a evening we have had. This means a lot going into the coming weeks for a few different for a few different players. Girthquake picking up his first win, that one's pretty big there. Esterix getting his first matches streamed, that's always fun. And yeah, so we're looking forward to going on to the next one. Thank you for everyone for watching. Yeah, my name is Taylor, aka Henchwoman. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.